Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Bill Barnwell has this piece up at ESPN.com where he mentions trade scenarios. Jamal Adams, Treylon Burks, Adoree Jackson, Hunter Renfrow, a lot of different ones. The one to this audience that would probably garner the most attention is his idea of the Jaguars trading for Saints cornerback Marshon Lattimore. And I think the thing about this that would probably be most interesting to you is the compensation. They talk about how the Saints have restructured Lattimore's contract, and we've talked about that plenty here, how financially it doesn't make a lot of sense for New Orleans. Any deal that would move Lattimore would have to include some form of the team that's taking on Lattimore's deal, taking on the bulk of that contract, because it wouldn't make sense for the Saints to eat dead money for Marshon Lattimore's deal to not have him on the roster. But really the question comes down to a couple of things. What could you get for Marshon Lattimore? And is that more valuable than having him on your team in 2024 and then potentially cutting him in 25 or waiving him? It's worth mentioning the Saints could trade Marshon Lattimore post-June 1, and his cap number goes down to $10 million this year. So it becomes a much more manageable contract structure if you trade him after June 1. So that is something that's feasible that would make some financial sense for the New Orleans. Remember, if Lattimore's on the roster next year, it costs you $50 million. If he's not, that number jumps down to like 20. So you're talking about a more manageable way to figure out, to work through this contract. But what was interesting that Bill Barnwell recommended, he looked at the deal that sent Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins last year, when the Rams sent Jalen Ramsey to Miami. And remember, Lattimore in the last 2 years has missed 17 games. When he's healthy, he is a great corner, but he has been injury prone in his career. There's only one season, his second year, 2018, where he played a full season. Every other year, he has missed time at some point. In the last 2 years, he's combined to miss 17 games, effectively a full season. Jalen Ramsey has been healthy, has been available, is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He's certainly more accomplished. The Rams traded Jalen Ramsey to Miami for a third-round pick and a backup tight end. Bottom line is the best you could hope to do in a Lattimore trade is a 3, and what Barnwell proposed is a conditional 4, basically. It's a 5th-round pick that could convert to a 4 based on playing time. So if you're the New Orleans Saints, and by the way, I think Barnwell is on it. I think that's the best you could hope for is a day 3 pick for Marshon Lattimore. I mean, look at what the Bears just got for Justin Fields, a guy who has starting quarterback experience in the NFL with a massive ceiling. In my opinion, the Saints would have to look at this and say, are we better off with one more year of Marshon Lattimore to help us win now, or would we rather the draft asset next year, a day 3 draft asset next year, and to dump the salary? And my guess is, knowing how the New Orleans Saints operate, and Mickey Loomis having said, you're looking for the Godfather offer, right? The offer you can't refuse. A day 3 draft pick is not the Godfather offer. So if the Saints fancy themselves as a team that's still competing to win now, they want Marshon Lattimore on their team in 2024 because he makes them better in 2024 unequivocally. They're a better defense with Marshon Lattimore on the team. Look, last year, we know Paulson Adebo is really good on the boundary. Alontae Taylor really struggled in the slot last year. He's probably more of a boundary corner, might even be a safety eventually in this defense. We'll see. Similar to what Malcolm Jenkins was. You drafted Malcolm Jenkins in round 1 as a cornerback at Ohio State. You made him a safety, became a really good safety in his NFL career. You draft Kool-Aid McKinstry, maybe a Debo McKinstry or a Debo McKinstry, your boundary corners. Taylor moves to safety. You move Lattimore out. There are options and scenarios that make sense. But undeniably, the New Orleans Saints are a better team with Marshon Lattimore in 2024. And against the schedule they're facing, which by opponent win-loss record from a year ago is tied with Atlanta for the weakest strength of schedule in the NFL, the Saints are going to try to win now, especially with the money they have tied in as well with Derek Carr and with Dennis Allen knowing he's probably coaching for his job. So I don't think the Saints, because they've given us no indication that they would be in sell mode, acquire draft assets to rebuild. They're trying to win now, and I think that's going to include Marshon Lattimore.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.